So, Babaji, the theme for today is the way to permanent happiness. So the first question, Babaji. Babaji has said before, we are knowingly or unknowingly all looking for happiness, and that we do anything in this world because we think it will make us happy. So Babaji, can you explain, why do we yearn for happiness?
In my experience, mind is looking for the same happiness that which it had enjoyed by remaining in the self. Now that it has come out, so it is looking, but it has forgotten the path. Just it has to go back, settle in the self, remain quiet. So that's why it is looking for that peace. And also, it doesn't stop anywhere. You give anything else. You give the entire universe, empireship, make it a billionaire. It will look for something else, for an excitement, for an enjoyment, for some happiness. So that is because also your own real existence is itself the source of supreme peace. When supreme peace is there, there is happiness.
Thank you, Babaji. So Babaji, as a young boy, Baba wondered about this fluctuation from happiness to unhappiness in the world. And Baba had the question, why is happiness not there 24 hours a day, 365 days a year? Did this question just spontaneously come into Baba's mind? How did that come about?
Yes, when I saw sometimes an excitement, sometimes an unknown fear, what will happen next and what will happen to our kith and kin, people who are dearer to us, our parents, our siblings, or any such thing. When it used to come, that was when this thought also came. If the happiness is there, it must be at all times, 12 months, 24 hours. Why is this fluctuation? Sometimes there is excitement, there is happiness, we look forward, and sometimes there is an unknown fear, some pain is there. Why is this? I used to think, is there something wrong within me, in my habits or my thinking, my mind, whatever it is? Or is this world is very wrong? Was not sure at that time, nothing. It was like 50-50 for me. So that was how I used to keep wondering.
So Baba, did this set Babaji onto the spiritual path to try and find the answer to that?
Yeah, eventually, as I got introduced to Adi Shankara, and like when I heard his Bhajagovindam song saying, when death occurs to the body, none of your worldly wealth, power, anything cannot come to your rescue. That made this is what makes us to lose peace. Why should one die? When we die, our own existence is threatened. So that's what everybody get panicked or painful, fearful, whatever it is, all these things come. And the same thing happens if we are going to lose our dear one. When they are gone, so we won't be able to see them physically. So this type of thoughts used to come. So then the fear and the loss of peace, all these things happens. What happens when death happens? And am I born with this body? Am I going to become extinct, finished when the body dies? Or am I going to exist in some other form? See, this secure existence is one of the basic problem for humanity to lose peace or go into any conflict also. Any creature, when its existence is threatened, then it goes into conflict. It becomes agitated, it will fight, it want to survive, whatever is possible. So like these type of thoughts used to come. So I used to wonder, why is that? If also this thought came at that age, if we have all such things which we will not lose ever, permanently, once for all it is there, then maybe I will have a supreme permanent peace, final, highest peace. Highest was the word I used to think in those days. And then the peace is always there. So it seems that this peace, loss of peace happens only when we feel threatened that we can lose, we can be losing, we are going to lose, somebody will make us lose. So if we lose this body or we lose this world, so these type of thoughts used to occur.
Thank you, Babaji. So, Baba, the happiness that one gets from the awareness of the self, it's the highest, as Babaji says, the highest happiness beyond the dualities of the world. And there's no opposite, of course, to this highest happiness. Why is that, Babaji?
One important thing you say, contentment is the most elusive thing to achieve, to have, either naturally, effortlessly, or even to achieve also. Achieve is much more difficult if you don't have contentment. So when the mind looks for that contentment, that satisfaction in this world, with the objects, with the work, including our own physical body, that's when we realize the entire universe, including our own physical body, is all impermanent. When it is impermanent, it cannot give us a contentment. We cannot be totally contented when we are in need of something. That means we depend on that thing for our happiness. That's why we need that one. So all these things comes simultaneously. One is connected to the other. So that's when we lose peace also. If we lose peace, we lose that contentment. So craving happens. So thus as we got introduced to philosophy of Adi Shankaracharya's teachings, Ramakrishna, Ramana Maharshi, and eventually to my Guru Swamiji, so we became spiritually more interested when it talks of things like Jnana, Bhakti, Vairagya, knowledge. But that means there is something of that thing we need to be aware. Knowledgeably, we need to be aware of that. And we need to be devoted to that. Means, say, if I have come out as the mind, that means I am not devoted to myself, real self. I am devoted to whatever the mind thinks. I have become preoccupied to that. I am always attracted to what the mind wants. So that is what the devotion we learn. We need to be devoted to ourselves. Means we need to be aware at all times. In our consciousness, that awareness needs to be there. Then we are devoted to ourselves. And for this, you need vairagya, detachment, which keeps you away from your real self, and that which is impermanent, you need to become detached to that impermanent thing. Then automatically you will be devoted to yourself. And when you are devoted to yourself, that awareness, knowledge, awareness of yourself is there, and then you have peace and contentment. Like this, all one is connected to other. All the things that you need to achieve spiritually, this is whatever you do. All religious practices, all spiritual practices, everything is taught so that you can achieve this one. That's what we understood by teachings of these great masters. Oh, it is the I which I need to know. Then the problem can be solved. These things came. So that's when I started praying. Had not yet met my Guru Swamiji, to the divine, please bless me to have a Guru who would have liberated himself and who can lead me to liberation? So as long as we need some peace and we are looking for that happiness, so we are binded birth. We are not totally free, independent. We are binded that we want something. That itself is a binding. Until then we don't have peace or rest. So these are the things which we learnt and went deeply into spirituality, wanted to achieve that one with proper guidance, blessings, grace and practice.
Thank you, Babaji. So anything that if we yearn for what we imagine as happiness, or any assumption of what peace and happiness is, it will not take us there. Any imagination cannot lead us to that.
Yeah, that's what we keep trying. See, we have imagination that if we obtain $1 million, I will be happy. Until you don't get, you are anxious, you are restless. What to do, how to do, at any cost, this type of head banging type of things keep coming. Suppose by chance, if at all you achieve, you get $1 million. So we have seen people, they don't stop there, they want more money. They want to earn more. They cannot be satisfied. And they don't seem to have any contentment at all. So that's what made us to think. So things of this world is not the thing which will give us any contentment. We need to remain contented. Whatever is the situation, whatever we have, if we are contented, so then we are in ourselves. When we are in ourselves, we have that awareness of the self and we have the supreme peace also. That is the final highest peace. Beyond that, there cannot be any other peace. This thought used to come. If at all we can have a further peace, then even when we do tapas or meditate or anything, obtain the self-realization also, then we won't have any satisfaction. When I used to see like Ramana Maharshi with just a lion cloth, in his face such aura, beautiful aura of contentment, just as if he is in himself. I used to wonder, what is it that he has achieved? He looks so contented. How to achieve that contentment? So this type of thoughts used to come. So all this led me deeply into spirituality. I was blessed to have such a great guru like Shiva Balayogi. And then we learned, if we become quiet mentally, we are at peace. This we are at peace, that means we are contented, we have no desires. Whatever we get, we are happy. So that was out. No craving for, we need to have only particular food only. But if food we got, that's fine. Today it might be 4, 5 items. Tomorrow it might be just 1 item. Anything, any situation. Today somebody is caring for you, they are so loving. Tomorrow nobody might care for you. So both situations are okay, no problem. Why should we blame somebody? Today some people are with me to serve and help and assist me in my mission work. Tomorrow they are not there. Why should I crave for that? Why should I curse? There is nothing. It's fine. It's all. If this is what the divine wants, we are happy, we are at peace, we are contented. Somebody is there to do it, that thing will happen. Somebody is not there to do it, that thing will not happen. Say if somebody is there to pay for my airfare, we will travel to create the awareness. If there is nobody to pay for airfare, we don't travel, that's it. So that type of things, we learn and remain contented at all times, under all situations.
Like Baba has said, those who can adjust and manage are the happiest. This is so important for us to be happy while living in the world.
Yes, wonderful. It is this what we thought always in the beginning itself. That's what we try to teach. adjustment and management. You adjust with whatever you get. Don't have any brooding. Oh, no, I cannot adjust with this one, I want. If it's possible, you obtain, no problem. If it's not possible, it's okay, no problem. So like that, that's how you adjust in life. Then you have happiness. So you have somebody with you and you adjust with them, accept them as they are. That's fine. Then you have happiness. There is no craving. Some devotee is ready to help, is ready to sacrifice their time and give their time to me and work for me. So we are happy, that's fine. Somebody is not ready to give their time and they want to stay away, go away. They cannot give time to me. They say, okay, we don't have time. No problem. That's also fine. Simply that thing will not happen, that's it. Or somebody else will come and do it. It's like we hear one door closes, another door opens. So like this we adjust in life. We have to do some adjustments. And one time comes, this body may give way, may not be helpful for us to travel. It might become difficult. So we will adjust, no problem. It's aging process. What to do? That's natural. It has to happen. So when this was 20-year-old, it served the master, it worked, ran, did everything. Now at 70, it's not possible. This body will not be so much helpful. It will trouble. So whatever is possible, we try to do that adjustment. We adjust. And manage. Management also almost same, simply a slightly different terminology. Whatever you have got, you manage with that one. You have got 10 pounds today, you manage with that. Tomorrow you may get 20 pounds, you manage with that. So thus you are happy always. Whether you have £1 million or a 10 pound or a 100 pound or whatever you have got, you are happy. So that is management. You are able to manage with that one.
So Babaji, in that way, the mind can be quiet at all times.
The mind is quiet. Thus, you see, when we are adjusting and managing with the thing, no craving, no hitting on the head or no banging of that, oh God, why is that person is dying or not doing it for me? What will I do now? Oh God, it will all. The world is not going to disappear. Nothing will happen. Simply, that's it. So that is what adjustment and management. We are happy. The mind recedes, mind is quiet. Mind doesn't go into craving. When the mind recedes and remains quiet, it's contentment. When there is contentment, its awareness is into itself. That's what is self-realization. You are in the self, in yourself. Self-awareness.
Babaji, how do we cultivate this strong desire for a permanent, real happiness in this world? With most people are involved with the happiness of objects and situations in this world, but how can we develop that permanent happiness, the desire for the permanent?
Human nature always, we try to have the best things. Any product comes in the market, a cell phone comes, new is released. We try to find out, search in the online, go there, try to find which one is the best that we can buy. We have to buy that one, like that. We try to look for that. In the same way, we have to think happiness. Happiness must not be dependent on another thing other than ourselves. As long as we depend on another thing, that cannot be guaranteed. That is there today, tomorrow it may not be there. This is the nature of this world. If we depend on this body for a happiness, it is there today, tomorrow it may not be, because the change is inevitable. That's what we can understand, the impermanence. We saw our own body as 10-year-old, 20-year-old, but it came to 50-year-old, 60, 70, like that. Another 10 years, if at all this is alive, it will be 80-year-old. Will be taking a stick and moving very great difficulty, and the head is moving like this. It's not stable. So everybody will think, oh, Baba has become very old. Look at it, what has happened. So if we depend on this, then we are unhappy. 10 years ago we were happy, 10 years after now we are unhappy. 70 years ago we were happy when we were born, now we are not happy. No, not like that. We are happy. Even if it becomes 80-year-old, everybody tells you, hey, old man, we are happy. No problem. That's how we are always happy. So that's what we have to look for, the highest happiness. So if I don't depend on this or anything, then I can have the highest happiness. That happiness which nobody can disturb and nobody can tempt and nobody can threaten. Nobody can tempt me. You don't remain in your real self, Babaji. I will give you the empireship of this world. You will be the emperor. Lord Yama told Nachiketa, you go back to world. You don't have to die. You remain as a great emperor for 5,000 years. Enjoy the world. He refused. No. Of that 5,000 years will pass by. Then is there anything to avoid coming back to you? His own intelligence started working. He was in deep meditation. In that only he started thinking about it. Even if the divine God or Yama, Lord of Death, gives me the empireship of this world, I must refuse. No. Because that is going to pass by. It will be over. So he keeps demanding in his own consciousness, please give that self-knowledge now and here itself. So Yama has no answer. No, you have to die after 5,000 years. He increases, okay, another 5,000 years, 50,000 years. But he adamantly sticks to, so that 50,000 will be over. So that is what we have to understand. Impermanence and the passing by of the time. If the time passing by wouldn't have bothered us if the things were not changing. Now the things are changing. And we are here in this body because things are changing. Before we were born, if the things had stopped changing, we wouldn't have been born at all. That is also a problem. Like this, from whichever angle, in whichever way you think about this world, even if God can fulfill your wishes that the change will stop, then He will ask by that we will have to go 80 years before you are born and then the change will stop. Is it acceptable? Oh, no, then I won't be able to be in this world, then where were I don't know. So then again that is problem. So whatever God gives us, it is always a problem for us. That's what my Guru said once. Whatever God will give you, you will end up in trouble. Ask for God only. When you have God, then there is no trouble. The rest all are troublesome things. He said and laughed at it. So that is how we need to use our intelligence, try to inquire, try to understand about the permanent peace, how it can be. How can any impermanent thing give a happiness permanently when it itself is impermanent? Then we will understand, there is something wrong and problem in all these things. So we need to look for that permanent. Is there any permanent existence at all?
Wow, that's amazing, Babaji. Anything that's changing cannot give you that permanent happiness. It has to be unchanging.
Yeah, when it itself goes away, where is it that, how can it give you? As long as this planet Earth is here, it is giving us happiness. All resources are there. Either tomorrow or a billion years later, once everything finishes, this planet Earth cannot sustain our lives anymore. It cannot give us happiness, any resources, everything would have gone. All satellites, all cell phones, all gadgets, everything, computers, GPS, you, me, everything is gone, finished. All history. So how can it give happiness? Though we are grateful when we are getting happiness, we are always grateful whatever that we are given. That's what adjustment. But we shall have understanding that permanent happiness. Today, earth is there. We are happy and grateful to the earth. earth is not there, we are happy and we will understand. We won't curse the earth, why the earth is not there. Today somebody is doing my work, you are trying to help me. I'm grateful to you, I'm thankful. Tomorrow if it's not possible for you to do it, you will say, Babaji, I cannot do your work anymore. I'm going. No problem, I will understand. So we were taught we will serve the Master till the last breath of our life. Only when death happens, oh Master, I'm sorry, I'm going to die, I cannot serve you anymore. That's what we learned. That's the last breath. After that, I'm helpless. As long as this body is there, I will look after the ashram, I will do every work, I will conduct these Zoom classes, whatever possible, everything is available. So if this body itself is gone, then goodbye to you all. So that is what we have to think. No need to get panicked. It should not be as scary. It should be the intelligence working. Enquiry. That's what it is. That's how ancient sages discovered the self and its existence. There is something.
Thank you, Babaji. So when we're acting in the world, we use our imagination. And this imagination Babaji's talked of as having three qualities, the gunas, the three gunas, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. So if we think in a sattvic way, is that thinking in a noble, good way that where we are in control of our imagination? Is this how we act?
Both. Thinking noble means a larger cause, better thinking. We are not selfish and narrow-minded. We are not evil-minded. We are not wicked. So we are trying to be a good person means betterment of all. Let all be happy. That type of thinking always is there. So that's what sattvic. Also, that quality of ability to think, imagination to be creative is sattvic. As long as it is under our control. We don't want to think, we stop it. We should be able to stop it. It should not go into craving on its own. Servant, you just sit on the chair, on the stool that is this. Don't keep running here and there. We ask them. So the servant should listen to us. If the servant says, no, I will sit on your head, I will sit on your bed. So then we become victim of the servant tries to be the master. That's what it is. Everywhere, if we are independent, when we are aware of our real self. So it's available, it's fine. It's not available, it's okay.
Baba, for those of us who have cravings or acquired habits that are very strong, when we have a desire, Babaji said it's okay as long as we can accept whether we get something or we don't get something. But how can we make sure we're not jumping into a craving or a greed?
That's what you have to practice every day of just keeping quiet. That practice was meditation. This keeping quiet becomes possible when you are detached to your own imaginations. You don't become stubborn. What you imagine is the thing and that must happen. That is the right thing. Not necessarily. Just become quiet. You accept it. So then you practice to remain quiet. And that's what is meditation. Simply you are asked to close the eyes so that already there is a world inside the mind and you have to accustom another big world in front of you. So many problems. The problems will increase of imagination. So at least you can set aside this world for a while and close the eyes and try to attend to the world that is there by becoming detached. You can become detached when you simply watch. You are only witness, it is there. You are not telling whether it is there or not there. You are not bothered whether it is there or not there. If the thought is there, you will not curse the thought. If the thought goes away, you will not curse the thought. because you are detached. That means you are just watching. That is the practice is necessary. Without this practice, how to bake a bread, how to bake a bread, how to bake a bread, you read, until I have been reading for the last 35 years. Why is that I am unable to bake the bread? Man, you have never tried to bake the bread. You have been simply reading, bake the bread, bake the bread, bake the bread. So that practice is what the Guru teacher, our master taught. Just watch. Sit in any comfortable posture. He was so lenient. Okay, this is your choice. You sit in any way you want. But I added, try to keep back and neck straight. Otherwise, you sit any posture means they will try to sleep on the ground. People, they did it. That's when I learned to know I have to add keeping the back and neck straight. So then gently close the eyes and just keep watching. When you are just watching, so many things happen, you see. When you are just watching, you are practicing to remain silent. You are practicing to remain detached from the things which you had imagined, which had gone into Rajasic and Tamasic things, stubbornness, and to the extent of forgetting your real self, you went into that imagination. All that you are clearing.
Thank you, Baba. Meditation is the answer to the problems.
Yeah, meditation, that's what it helps you to keep quiet. That is the thing. That's what you are practicing. When you are meditating, you are not trying to break any mountain. You are simply trying to keep quiet. Shut up. Tell yourself.
Thanks, Babaji.
Babaji, I wanted to ask, you might have come across so many people. Sometimes, how do you prevent yourself from getting affected by their energy? Sometimes they are not always positive. Some people may have negative energy.
By ignoring, just mind your business type. We try to poke our fingers unnecessarily here and there. That becomes a habit for people. Try to judge, oh, this is evil, this is good, this is bad, this is positive. There is neither positive nor negative. Simply an energy is there. So when you remain like that one, you see only that energy everywhere. Nobody is positive, nobody is negative for you. If you are totally have risen above that level, or at least try to be positive for yourself, then you can avoid. Nothing can be harmful to you. Your own ideas, your own imagination, which becomes harmful.
Sometimes you cannot avoid those situations. So, for example, at work or something, people complain or speak negative things, or those sort of instances. How do you then ignore or get away from?
Get affected. You see, that's why means your defense forces are not strong enough. They have not practiced the war games properly. Your mind means what I am trying to tell. That happens when you practice the meditation thoroughly every day without fail. Then after some time you will see that your mind becoming strong and strong. No power can give you blood pressure. So that is the common language we all use, you see. That's what happens. Then you can remain quiet, and that person who is trying to be negative with you will become negative, and he will have blood pressure to himself. So that's simply practice. There is no other remedy. We have to practice. Yeah.
Nice to see you, Babaji. I start this way. In the Muslim teaching, they are saying that on your day of birth, the book of life is written. So when time is an illusion and time doesn't exist, then our self-realization is already there. And is it right to think that we have to just find this moment where our self-realization already exists. Can you understand what I mean?
So this
That-
thing
that-
we
yeah.
also discuss in the name of destiny. If you remember, many times we have done this in the
Yeah.
Q&A also. So destiny
Yeah.
means if you are destined, it will happen. So your destiny is written. So actually this is a very tricky thing, many debatable thing. People debate and try to understand. You see, if you are positive, you can shape a better positive book of your own story. If you are negative, you will be writing your own negative story actually. So thus the destiny here, destiny and the book is all the same. Instead of bothering that the book has been written, you just work what you want. You want self-realization, you work for that one. If you go and sit in a corner, that will become the book. Your book is written that you will be sitting simply in the corner. You have to work for that one. So that becomes your book.
Yeah.
Got it?
Sorry, I like to expand this a little bit. I just come to the conclusion that actually time in by God, it doesn't exist. It's just an illusion. It's just something to keep us moving around in this world, So time, it's just an illusion, and therefore I start thinking, when time doesn't exist, then our self-realization, our search for self-realization is already there. We just have to sit there, we just have to find this.
You have to become aware. You have to
Yeah.
become aware. That's all.
Okay.
You become quiet, you become aware mentally.
So then I'm there, I understand.
Pranams, Babaji. Babaji, with regular practice of meditation and in presence of divine presence, we feel quite happy after that, and staying in the world feels happy with every situation. But doesn't that also puts us into the loop of not seeking something much higher in happiness? So if I'm content with everything in my life, everything's going fine.
You see, what one has to learn here, you content with whatever you are getting, whatever is happening. That happens when you are able to settle down into yourself. Only the self can give this contentment. That means you are not bothered whatever comes or goes in this world, all impermanent. So there is nothing other highest. The highest than this world or anything is you yourself. So when you are contented, you are in yourself. There is nothing other, no other highest thing is. Only when you go to the higher, you get contentment, not otherwise. Until you don't, contentment means you are trying to depend on the things of this world which are all impermanent. So once you discover yourself, that is the highest and total contentment is there, then you don't bother. Whatever happens, doesn't happen. So that's what has to happen. Otherwise, your point is right. You need to look for the highest. That's why it is important. So you look for the self, then you get it, right?
Babaji,
Yeah.
sorry, just one continuation to that. What if right now the mind is content with whatever money it has, family connections and happiness, but nothing bad has happened in their life, to not even think that they are not content, they did not face a fight or war situation, so they don't know that whether they are capable to handle that to the next level.
Yeah, this is a different thing. You see, that's why we depend on this world, so that practice has to happen. So now we are content with a small thing, then that might get reduced. If you have practiced, you will remain content. So that's how this world is a big challenge. As you are talking, if you have not faced a war, if you have not faced that type of trouble, you are content. So you have to practice. That comes only when you really meditate and become aware of yourself. Then when you are put to test, when somebody tries to trouble you, try to give you blood pressure. So when there is nobody sitting in a cave, you can tell that I have won over the anger. I am very happy and at peace. But when 10 people are trying to tell, oh, you are an idiot, somebody is telling you have more money, you give it to me, somebody is trying to rob your property, like all these things. In all situations, can you remain contented is the challenge. That happens only when you gain the self-realization, not without that one. When you simply try to practice with a theory that I am going to remain contented if $10 comes, $20 comes, tomorrow somebody comes and tries to scratch on your head. So you cannot remain contented. Even if you need to defend yourself, mentally you should have achieved to remain contented. That's what we try to teach.
Thank you, Babaji.
Pranams, Babaji. As we sit and settle down for the quieten to mind during meditation, on occasions there is disturbance, either as a real disturbance, a mosquito biting or an ant crawling or a tick bite. On other occasions, it's a light sensation to either scratch or itch also can be a disturbance. What I've noticed is when I just don't respond and continue to ignore, I see that the sensation to move or the scratch and itch is almost like a mind trying to fool. So is that something the mind plays tricks because it's bored and it does not want to come and allow us to sit still?
First thing, Patanjali says very good. When you sit for meditation or tapas, you need to adopt such place and such methods that both friend or enemy must not be able to trouble you. Sometimes a friend, out of too much of love, your mother comes, oh my dear, don't do any tapas, don't do any meditation, you come home, Shaolin, let's go back home type of things happen. So you have to adopt such method of strong. Sometimes some mosquito bites. Quickly hit it. If it doesn't listen, you have a right to defend yourself. You don't have to give your blood. Then you will get disturbed here. So take care. Any such places that there are no mosquitoes. If you want to sit outdoor, you have some incense, something like that one. Always you have to adopt this type of methods and slowly become strong mentally also, that you avoid bothering. But anything that can be disturbing physical health, you need to attend to that one. Otherwise, a physical deformation, ill health, something can happen. Sometimes we have seen great self-realized masters who did great tapas. So they could not attend to their body, have become ill, or any such things has happened to their bodies. It has been a trouble. That's a different thing. If they did not bother, they were happy with self-realization and gone. But generally for everybody, we cannot tell like that one. You have to adopt methods so that you are not bothered, and you have to be careful. Necessary, you sit inside a room might be better, or outside you need to have a incense sticks so that the mosquitoes doesn't bite you anything, right? Okay.
But on other instance, when we ignore general sensations, so is it the mind that is trying to deviate and distract? But as
often, yeah, if smaller itches which are not that dangerous things, at that time you just try to watch here and try to feel as if the itching is happening here. So then that itching will disappear, because your mind, if it can get concentrated, it will stop noticing. That is also there.
Thanks.